Visit ccgcastle.com and get 5% discount on your purchase with TCG Center 5 code. Check video description or visit CCG Castle for more.
Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. In today's video, I will play a little bit with Donphan deck. So it is a last chance Donphan play with Sturdy ability, which says this Pokemon has full HP and would be knocked out by damage from an opponent attack. This Pokemon is not knocked out, and its remaining HP becomes 10, which basically means that with the last chance potion play, we can simply heal 120 from Donphan, and then be able to use Sturdy again. Rolling Spin is not the most powerful attack you're going to see in play. I mean, it's a 70 damage attack with fighting and double Chorus Energy, but it says that during your next turn, this Pokemon Rolling Spin attack does 70 more damage before applying weakness and resistance. So it's not that bad in theory if your opponent cannot. If your opponent is hitting for like 130 plus. This ability can be very bad versus Giratina, and that's the reason why we have Lolmak with Power of Alchemy tagged in this build to stop Giratina damage on the bench. Bad thing about this deck can also be the fact that, for example, Tapu Koko can just once spread the damage around the board, and then Sturdy won't be useful anymore. But if you're not going to face Tapu Koko play, you're going to be perfectly fine. But on the other side of the field, you can just attack Sky Pillar and prevent your opponent from being able to spread damage around the field anyways, which I decided not to do. So in this build, I'm running Ditto also as a tech, which can basically evolve into Macargo, or for example into Mach, or maybe just into the Donphan. I'm running one Oranguru with Instruct. I actually decided to go with a Oranguru with Instruct just in case, so I can go with my Smooth Over, but it can also be substituted with Zebstrika, because if you have Mach in play, you're not going to be able to use Instruct, which is a bad thing, and in that case, Zebstrika is a little bit better. But Oranguru is also good because we're just going to use Mach anyways in just a couple of situations, and maybe versus Zapdos as well. Then we're running 2 copies of Sledgehammer Buzzwoles, one the Ansi for the Princess Cheers, which can also be blocked by the Mach, and also 3 copies of Donphan and Phanpy, 1 Slugma, 1 Macargo, and 1 Tapu Lele, just in case if you're stuck without supporter card, we can always Ultra Ball for it. Some other cards that I decide to play: 1 Counter Catcher, 2 Rescue Stretchers, 4 copies of Last Chance Potion, 2 Nest Ball, and 4 Ultra Ball for the setup. From tool cards, I decided to go with 2 Choice Bands and 2 XP Shares, because losing energy without being able to attach can be very problematic, and that's the reason why we can always play XP Share as a tech. 3 Brooklyn Hills, which can also be substituted, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, with the Sky Pillar or maybe Shrine of Punishment, depend on the meta as you're gonna face. 9 Drow Supporters, 4 Cynthias, 2 copies of Reckless Hospitality, and 3 Lilies, with 3 copies of Guzma, 11 energy cards, 1 copy of Beast Energy, 4 copies of Double Chorus, and 6 copies of Fighting Energy cards. And this is the deck list that I'm going to use in today's video, so make sure to subscribe to the channel if you already didn't, and please consider hitting also like button as well. So see you in the game. Alright, so Donphan, ready to rock and roll, as I like to call it, last chance Donphan. Starting first. And there's no sign of the basic Pokemon in my opening hand. I guess I'm gonna need to refresh it and start with the Grimmer. Alright, it could be even worse, so I'm not gonna complain too much as long as I have Nazball, Cynthia, and Brooklyn Hill available in the opening hand. So it's a decent opening hand, I should say that. I can grab myself 2 basic Pokemons and put them in play. So I guess I can't complain too much. So gonna go for Slugma for now, as long as I have Macargo. Yes, I have. Brooklyn Hill, it's quite obvious that's gonna be for my Phanpy. and I'm gonna play Cynthia in this case. So refreshing my hand into the Buzzwole, no sign of the energy. I mean, I'm running 11 energy cards, but I couldn't get a single one. And that's pretty much it for now. So looking at my hand for the next turn, potentially I can go with Smooth Over, I can use my Rika's Hospitality. I can play Brooklet Hill, even if my opponent decides to discard my own Brooklet Hill. So as long as this Pokemon has fewer Pokemon in play than your opponent. Alright, interesting. So he already hit me for like 80 with that Professor's Kukui. No, there was no Professor's Kukui, there was a Beast Energy. So I guess I can try to respawn maybe somehow onto my opponent. But I think it's gonna be impossible. I can play Erika's Hospitality for one card if I want, which is not that bad. So we're gonna put Rescue Stretcher in play again for that Grimmer, so I can have it on the bench for the upcoming turn. Smooth Over into some sort of Drow supporter wouldn't be that bad. Like some sort of Cynthia. And I'm gonna go with Erika's Hospitality. And all I can do for now is just Sledgehammer for 30. Not the best start in this game, but it could be even worse. I'm not going to complain too much. At least I have my cargo ready for the next turn. I'm also going to have energy to Fanfi. And there's a Buzzwole GX. Alright. So yeah, for now my opponent can deal a lot of damage with that Sledgehammer attack. And there's a Guzma, so he might just want to hit 30 Fanfi and 30 other ones. So I might not be able to use my last chance potion. Look, when it hits, if this Pokemon would be knocked out, it won't be knocked out. So we are definitely looking forward for some sort of play here, I guess. Also, I'm gonna need to find. Actually, I can heal damage from Fanfi. Why not? I have something on my mind actually. Maybe I might be able to get XP share, so that wouldn't be bad at all if it can happen. And I can grab as well Oranguru, for example. So we're gonna do Endure for now, and it's a Tails. Alright, it is a Tails. And I also forget to use my Smooth Overplay for some sort of double course energy play. It's okay, I guess. Did make a mistake, but it's just something normal here. There's Professor Kukui. Ah, dang. So it will be 70 with the Jet Punch. And 30 for my Donphan on the bench. At least he can keep that energy card ready, right? And we can deal some heavy damage right now with the Sledgehammer for like 120 in this case. But more than that, I'm just looking forward for the Cynthia play. Kind of interesting here. Fanfi play, and I think it's definitely time for me here to grab myself a copy of Max, so I can just shut down those basic Pokemon abilities. The truth is that I'm also gonna shut down my own ability with Oranguru, but it is how it is. So for the upcoming turn, I can definitely go with some sort of Cynthia play for now, and the most important thing here for me is to have my Mach ready. 130, but still, if he have Guzma, he can knock me out. So Sledgehammer doing a lot of damage. It's 120. Could be 180 in the with a Choice Band and Beast Energy. So there's another Jet Punch. And the bad thing is that this Donphan right now has 40 HP left, so not enough for usage, I guess. And I have two options available. The first one maybe is to target my opponent, the NC. The second one is just to knock his Buzzwole. I also have Cynthia available. Something tells me that I should maybe consider doing the Guzma down to his Buzzwole as well. And hit another Buzzwole for like maybe 70. I mean, he can go just for like 40. I can smooth over in some sort of let it be last potion play. Last chance potion sounds like a good idea, especially if I can grab it. If he don't have another energy available, then theoretically, even if he have energy actually available, he still needs to waste 3 energies and use Knuckle Impact or maybe Absorption GX in order to knock my Donphan out. Which basically means that then I won't be able to knock this Buzzwole out, at least not with my Sledgehammer thing. But if I get top deck Counter Catcher, for example, there is a Guzma, so he decided to immediately catch my Muck instead. Alright, maybe he decided to take 30 on the Donphan, for example. If that actually happens, I'm gonna be more than happy, because I will be able to heal damage from Donphan. But unfortunately, the top deck needs to be some sort of Guzma, I guess. Is this a counter energy? It is. And another Jet Punch, which can go in 2 different directions. And he just decided to take damage to another Donphan. Alright, then I guess it's time for Cynthia. I don't have option to retreat. At least I have option to attach energy onto my other Donphan. Play Ultra Ball if I want. For now I can actually do it. Just a thin deck a little bit. And what about smooth over? Into Guzma, for example. Which cannot be drawn by now, but never mind. He's down to 5 cards. As long as there's no Guzma in my opponent's hand, that's alright. But this card definitely looks good. Fossil Bind, I mean, I kind of like it. So he's just spraying the damage around the board. My top deck is a Guzma finally. And I can go for like knockout versus this Buzzwole, for example. But if I do that, then he's actually knocking me out by his own Sledgehammer. So I can maybe just go once again for like 70. Smooth over can be again Guzma just in case. Alright, so down to 140. Trying to find a way somehow to heal the damage from Donphan. Basically with the last chance potion in this scenario. And I'm not quite sure if my opponent will decide to play another Guzman. He will. And this time for my Oranguru. Alright. Still he cannot knock him out, which is a crazy thing, right? He had 2 Buzz in play with the Sledgehammer thing. We can heal completely damage from Oranguru, for example. And we can knock both Buzzwoles out. How many Guzmas did he use? 2 Guzmas. And I don't have Guzmas anymore. So I can go for maybe... Theoretically I need to let him knock me out. But if I do that, that's not gonna be good. This thing will make a lot of problem to me anyways. So I guess for me, it's the best thing to save my Donphans for now. And again, this is another last chance potion, so I don't have more last chance potions left. Counter Catcher will work perfectly for me at the next turn. So there we go. That's the knockout for 120. And there's a Buzzwole and a double Chorus Energy card. Alright, perfect. So, as expected, my opponent will just decide me to Sledgehammer me back. And for the following turn, I'm gonna have my Donphan ready for Rolling Spin, and for the knockout versus this Buzzwole on the bench. Because the top deck for me will be Counter Catcher. There you go, as expected. Yeah, I guess I can move energy, why not? Might be useful. So, still he's hitting for 60, and we need to promote this Donphan in that case in the active position. Probably right now he's thinking what the heck is going on. Ditto for the bench, even it cannot be evolved. Maybe at some point of the game he might be able to evolve. Top deck needs to be some sort of last chance potion play. Or actually Erika's Hospitality and then last chance potion play. Sounds a little bit better. Rolling Spin for the knockout, 100. I'm taking 2 prize cards. And I'm going down to 2 prize cards. And my Muck is actually doing a good job right now. So he can actually swing around with extra energy card for the knockout. I didn't see actually that, so he might got me there. There is a Choice Band and Lycia as well. Energy Recycle. I mean, as long as my opponent doesn't have energy basic or any kind of energy in his hand, Sledgehammer just for 30. Alright. Smooth overplay. I really need this last chance potion play. I can draw a couple cards with Erika's Hospitality. I can also attach energy onto my Oranguru. Even Choice Band to him. And Rolling Spin for 140, which is a crazy thing. And I'm down to only 1 prize card. And right now he can actually knock me out with his Buzzwole. So he can go for like Sledgehammer 60 and knock me out, which will actually happen. And again, I can move that energy to my Donphan as well. So again, I'm hitting for 90 and I'm not gonna need too much. So first things first, smooth over for some sort of rescue stretcher play in this scenario where I'm gonna just play a Lily for that rescue stretcher, where I'm gonna shuffle back 3 Pokemons. So in this scenario, Phanpy, Donphan, and Buzzwole. So another Rolling Spin for 70. And actually, I'm short for 30 damage to this Buzzwole. I mean, theoretically, my opponent can win if he plays Guzma to my Muck and pass the turn. So there's the energy card for the benched Buzzwole. I didn't see a single copy of B-String attached for my opponent in play. Almost 30 is pretty cool. I mean, as long as you have fewer Pokemon cards left in play, your opponent cannot play item cards. And there we go, that's the GG. So at the end, managed to steal the victories over my opponent, Buzzwole GX. Alright, so starting probably second, as expected, which means that theoretically at my turn 1 I can start doing some damage with the Sledgehammer in this case. Kind of like also the fact that I have XP share available in my opening hand. I just need to get some sort of top deck. And there's a Jirachi with a Stellar Wish on the other side of the field, so there's also Blitzy, which means that there's also going to be Zebstrika, maybe even Zapdos. And the bad thing for me is the fact that Zapdos is actually resistant to fighting Pokemons because it's a flying Pokemon. I just wonder why Moltres and Articuno... Actually, Articuno was originally resistant to fightings. Moltres was also in the fossil set when it was first time released, but I think that after that Moltres lost resistance ability. I might be wrong, but I remember that Zapdos and Articuno had resistance to fightings in original base set jungle fossil print. Alright, so that was a Rainbow Energy card attached to Zapdos, basically meaning that my opponent also plays Buzzwole for himself. There's not too many things I can do. I can play Lily for only 3 cards, get Grimmer as a top deck, and use one Sledgehammer basically for 30. That's literally it. Being able to get Mach in play in the early stage of the game versus Jirachi is half of the victory. But my hand just bricked. I don't have nothing. Literally only Cynthia can save me here, nothing else. I mean, it looks very ugly. There's a Walkner, so theoretically with a skateboard and some sort of 80 and 6140. Oh, so he will probably target my Grimmer on the bench with his Zapdos. Alright, so he realized that this is probably going to be a threat, so he immediately decided to catch him here. I guess I can go for 60 versus Blitzy. Better than just hitting Zapdos for 10. In that case, I'm doing my opponent a huge favor. But do I even have other option available? Just another XP shared top deck. Wow. So bad. So bad that I just need to start doing some damage. Sledgehammer for like 60. Probably it would be much better if I just focus Jirachi. But once I manage to put my Mach in play, Jirachi won't be useful anymore for my opponent. So if he have another Guzma play, then he can do probably another Guzma knockout versus my Grimmer on the bench. If not, then I can maybe even swing around next turn. I probably want to have enough for the knockout anyways, because Zapdos still has resistance. And he had another Guzma available for the knockout. Who would imagine that? Okay, at least I'm right now in a position to use Sledgehammer and go for 120. And theoretically I can go for 100. And since he already had 10 damage from the Rainbow Energy, this will be enough for the one-hit knockout versus Zapdos. So at least that's something, right? And I don't need to attach energy anyways. Erika's Hospitality. Let's see what we can get. 4 extra cards. And there was a Mach. If I really want to stay in the game, I guess I'm gonna need to bench down my top Lily, because maybe my opponent can surprise me there, and I don't like to see surprises. So we're just gonna go with this type of the play for now. And one Sledgehammer without energy attachment. I mean, I know that I'm gonna take some damage from the Shrine, but I just didn't want to take the risk seeing another Zapdos energy and the triple or maybe double electro power play for the donk versus my Buzzwole. I simply cannot afford myself that type of the move. As long as he have 4 price cards, my Sledgehammer will go for the one-hit knockout from turn to turn. The good thing is that I also have Guzma available in my hand. Technically speaking, I can go for maybe this Blitzy on the bench. Between turns, I'm taking 10 from the Shrine, so for me the better and the best thing is just to get, if it's somehow possible, maybe Cynthia play for Ditto and some type of Brooklyn Hill play. And there we go with Escape Rope. So maybe I should actually go with the energy attachment to my Tapu Lele. As long as this Zapdos is getting... oh, there's a lighting energy this time. So I'm gonna need the Ansi actually in this scenario if I want to knock this Zapdos out with a single shot for my Sledgehammer. And I'm gonna need to somehow do that. I think how Donphan has minus 20 resistance to lighting Pokemons, which is a cool thing. Still, my opponent needs some type of switch card, Escape Rope. He actually has Escape Rope available in his hand, so we might also see Sprint here after the Escape Rope play. It all depends on how bad his hand really is. But overall, for now, I'm feeling comfortable. I feel comfortable for now. There is a skateboard. All right. So, yeah, he got himself a skateboard, which basically means that even when I manage to knock him out, he will still be able to use advantage of a skateboard. Yeah, you should also retreat to Still Rouge Jirachi number 2 to see what you can get from trainer cards, and then use escape rope, because why not if you can. I just need my Donphans in play for now, but they're actually a little bit risky. And I think he probably won't be able to go for the one-hit knockout versus my Tapu Lele anyways. So basically Last Chance Potion will do some serious job here. I mean, still he's just hitting for 80. 90 with the Shrine. And who knows, maybe with the Choice Band to 120 and maybe to 150 with some sort of Electro Power play. And then I can just throw my last chance potion and surprise my opponent here, 150. So yeah, definitely gonna happen. Alright, gonna throw my last chance potion, which will help me a lot in this case. And I'm gonna go with the Cynthia play in this case as well. So I do have Nazball, which is a very important thing if I have the Ansi, so I can definitely go for the knockout versus this Zapdos. It's a very important thing for me here. And that's gonna actually happen right now. So Sledgehammer for 120. That was a very good play. An actual last chance potion saved me as well. So we are both equal by the price cards right now. But the rest of the cards in my hand are just useless. I didn't even get Stadium card. I wish I managed to get Stadium somehow, so I can at least set my Fanfi. And actually, Donphan does not have resistance anymore. So there was a time when Donphan had resistance on the lighting Pokemons. Hard Gold, Soul Silver, Donphan Prime, for instance, had resistance minus 22 lighting Pokemons. It's weird that they just randomly decide not to print resistance on some type of the Pokemons in play, which is ridiculous in my opinion. I simply don't understand why they're doing that. You should just keep weakness always going. So he decided to discard another Jirachi in this case. And there we go with the retreat to another Jirachi. Something tells me that he probably have Guzma available. But if he go with the Guzma, how many damage he can do with one electro power? He can go for like 80, 110 and 50, 160 and 10 from the shrine. Yeah. Oh, there's a Lily play actually. So still he's in the range of 110 damage versus Buzzwole, which is not enough. So he needs to find himself another electro power and switch. And he have another electro power. The question just remains, will he have switch? Probably he will, because he just decided to toss also Absol in play. And there's electro power as well. So that's the knockout. And I'm wondering if there's any way that I can maybe knock this Zapdos out. I guess there's no chance for that. So basically the only option available for now is just that Cynthia play. Finally, a couple useful cards. We're gonna go with some type of Ultra Ball play here for Rangru. More than that, I'm desperately hoping to top deck that Stadium card. Otherwise, this is gonna be a GG. Sooner or later, nope. Not even Energy Attachment. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Still, he needs Guzma, but he already played 3 Guzmas, so I feel comfortable because he's probably not going to be able to knock my Tapu Lele out this turn. Probably neither my Diancie, and as long as I'm going to be able to use Last Chance Potion, that's going to be perfectly fine for me. Escape Rope. I guess I can give him my Ranguru instead of the Vampire, maybe Slugma or anything else. And I simply like the fact that once I put my Donphan in the active spot, if my opponent decides to go with one hit knock versus him, he will just stay alive, and then I'm gonna throw my Last Chance Potion, and that's gonna be it. I just need to find a way somehow to heal more damage from this Tapu Lele. Once he's down to 140, I'm just looking forward to have prepared another Last Chance Potion. So there we go with the Cynthia play. He already retreated, so he cannot retreat once again. The only thing that he can do, he can play Switch, and there we go. So there's a Switch once again. And my opponent is right now wasting a lot of resources. He's doing 80 damage, so he needs Electro Charger by any means. Nope, just 80. And I took 10 from the Shrine. So there's Erika's Hospitality, which can be also very useful here. And the thing that I'm gonna look right now with my Smooth Over will definitely be some type of counter catcher play if I have, but unfortunately I don't. So I guess I can even go with the Brooklet Hill in this case. And I can throw one Erika's Hospitality there. But before that I can go actually first with Instruct. Just a double Course Energy. Which means that if he knocks my Ranguru, he will go down to like 2 price cards. And that's not something that I really want to see. But it's not that I have other options really available. I mean, still this Absol has 1 extra retreat, meaning that actually my active Pokemon will have 3 retreats, so I couldn't even retreat my Ranguru if I attached double Course Energy, so thank God I didn't do that. That would be a horrible mistake. Still, when we look at the opponent discard pile, there are 3 Guzmas and 2 Escape Ropes and 3 Electro Powers, so I have decent chance not to be knocked out, but if he retreats to another Zapdos, I will be knocked out. And still he will go down to like 2 price cards, which means right now that this Tapu Lele is actually in a danger position. I guess we're gonna put this Ditto in play. We're gonna play 1 Ultra Ball. for nothing. And then I need to smooth over. I really need energy, so I'm not going to risk. I'm going to go with smooth over energy play. And more than that, I'm hoping for the rescue stretcher for the following turn. At least I have energy. So I'm hitting with the roller spin for 70 right now. Next turn damage will be increased for double. So it will be 140. As long as he can't play Guzma for my Tapu Lele, I'm just perfectly fine. I played my counter catcher actually at my turn 2 when he knocked my Pokemon out, so I don't have another one left. But once I manage to put my Ditto in play, this is gonna be my Mach actually, not Ditto. This is gonna be it. So I'm just looking for that Mach play, so I can basically stop my opponent from being able to use those Stellar Wishes, which is a very important thing. And also I didn't play too many Guzmas, I only played one of them, so he just barely hit for 10. That's literally nothing. So this is the downside of Zapdos deck, unfortunately. Oh no, I discarded my Brooklet Hill. Okay, I still have one left, so never do that. Never do that. That's the horrible mistake that I did. Just in case of another Shrine of Punishment play. Alright, this was the card I was looking for. So I don't need nothing from my discard pile except for the Mach. And I'm just gonna put my Mach into the hand and then into play. And then I can play my Smooth Over for some sort of double Course Energy top deck. So I can go maybe potentially even with the Guzma. And let's go with the Rolling Spin. And right now Donphan is unstoppable. He's hitting for 140 turn to turn. What a nice surprise. Double Course Energy from prize cards. And the question remains which Pokemon will be promoted in the active position. It's quite obvious that the Jirachi will be the Pokemon promoted to the active position. Still with Kukui and one Electro Power, he can go for 120, actually 130, one hit knockout versus Donphan. If he missed that combo play, then I'm just perfectly fine. Well, there's a Tapu Koko with Dance of the Ancients, but it cannot be used as long as I have my Power of Alchemy Alone Mach in play. Right now I'm actually doing 20 damage less with my Princess Cheers, but it doesn't matter too much, as long as he can't go for the knockout. And this attack does 30 more damage for each. Okay, so yeah, I guess I don't need to think too much which play will be the next turn. It is quite obviously going to be Guzma play for this Absol on the bench. Or maybe even just for the Zapdos. But something tells me that this, yeah, actually we're going to go for a Zapdos because Absol can't knock Tapu Lele out. Yeah, so decision is made. We're going for the Zapdos. Maybe even for, I don't know. Maybe even for Zipstrika. So another Zapdos discarded, as well as a Tapu Koko GX and Nihilego, and there it is. There's the Shrine of Punishment. There's the card I was very scared about. Whew. Okay. Alright, so we're definitely gonna go for the Zapdos knockout next turn with the Guzma. I have enough resources available. I also need Brooklet Hill as well, so I can just move the Shrine from play. But it's not that bad as long as I can get my Tapu Lele down to 140, so I can Last Chance Potion once again. Imagine Scoop Up in play. It would be such an amazing thing. So, Thunder's Assault actually, he do me a favor there. He actually do me a favor there. I can't risk and let my opponent to take the knockout here with his Zapdos, unfortunately. So, I definitely need to go for the knockout versus his... let it be Absol in this case. Rolling Spin for the knockout. because if he can get Guzma from the prize cards, then he can take the knockout versus my Tampalele, and I just don't want to let him do that. Maybe also bad thing wouldn't be if I just decided to go for Jirachi knockout. For instance, he wouldn't have that free treat available. It doesn't matter actually, as long as I can just take the prize card next turn, because even if my opponent managed to take prize card next turn, he might not have Guzma anyways. And the question still remains if he even play 4 copies of Guzma in his deck, or maybe he just played 3 copies of them. Alright, so he can use Nightclub right now if he wants, because... Okay, luckily I'm weak on the grass, and that's the beast energy, so the best thing he can go for like 100 maybe. Even if he can go for the one-hit knockout versus this Donphan, it doesn't matter too much, because still this Donphan won't be knocked out anyways. Only Guzma works for my opponent, and he have Guzma, you gotta be kidding me. So actually that's the GG. And I was like 100% positive that the Guzma was in his prize cards, and that's the reason why I didn't want to go for the Zubstriker. But at the end, that turns out to be a horrible idea. I mean, yeah, I was like 100% positive that he didn't have Guzma available. That actually Guzma was prized, but he actually surprised me at the end by taking the sprint for the Guzma and for the knockout, and that's it. I mean, that's the GG, my friends. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, so make sure to hit a thumbs up and sub to the channel for more videos. Hope to see you next time, so till the next time, have a nice day and goodbye.